Chapter 34. At breakfast time, I find out I am right to trust Mum and Dad. Dad has been busy. His first priority has been to establish what the school and the police can do to protect Abby. There's good news, Vinny. Abby can be subject to a protection order to stop her parents taking her out of the country. At least that takes away the immediate danger for Abby. I punch the air. Yes! Just as the phone rings. It's Abby, and she sounds unhappy. Hi, Abby, you don't sound too good. Oh, sorry, Vinny, I'm just not sleeping, she says flatly. It's as if around every corner there's a shadow of Uncle Taj ready to take me back. Plus, I promised Serena that I would do something to get her home, and I've done nothing. I won't ever feel free knowing Dad wants to send me back to get married. I don't trust him enough to get into a car with him, let alone anywhere near an airport. Mum supports me now, but she has led a very traditional life and isn't always able to stand up to Dad. Do you know what, Abby? I say firmly. I think you did the best you could at the time. I could have done something too. If we had only gone to a teacher when it was all being arranged, perhaps Serena might have talked properly about what she felt, that she was scared or unsure. Then she may have realised what she was really letting herself in for. That's what she would have done for her. Way back when we first knew. It might have made a difference. It's too late now for regrets. It's a waste of time. We need to take action, not look back. I'm hatching my plan, Abby. More on that soon, I promise. And best of all, Dad has been on the phone talking to lots of people this week, and he says that it is slowly but surely being sorted out. He wants to speak to you. Just hang on, I say, handing the phone to Dad. Abby, things are happening. I've spoken to the Foreign Office, the police, and Freedom Charity. Freedom will help you get a forced marriage protection order, which means that you cannot be taken out of the country, and if need be, they can get your parents to hand over your passport. I've also arranged for you to see a specialist police officer today who will be able to help you. Dad continues to reassure Abby and tells her that Jasmine and Vinny will pick her up within the hour. 10 minutes later, the doorbell rings, and there stands Abby, panting and out of breath. I couldn't wait, I had to run straight over, Abby says, trying to catch her breath. Come in, I put my arms around her. It's good news, isn't it? Mum gives us orange juice and cupcakes. You will come with me, Abby says, holding my arm. Don't worry, Abby, Vinny, and Jasmine will both go with you, says Dad. After an hour or so, Mum and I walk with Abby to the police station. The police officers introduce herself as PC Jacqueline Williams. She tells us she is a specialist officer in child abduction and forced marriage. Abby goes in to be interviewed by herself, and Mum and I patiently wait in reception. Are you okay? I say, rushing to give Abby a hug when she comes out after what seems like hours. It wasn't as bad as I thought, Abby said. I can tell Abby has been crying as her eyes are bloodshot and puffy. As we walk back home, Abby confides in us. Jacqueline, the police officer, was extremely understanding. She has given me her mobile number and said that I can call her at any time. She has helped several girls and even a boy in a similar situation to me, and Serena. She said that I could not be forced into a marriage, that I couldn't be forced onto a plane and taken abroad, and if I didn't feel safe at home, there were other options available, Abby said without pausing. What do you mean, I quiz? Abby is looking much happier and seems fit to explode with information. Jacqueline has already contacted Children's Services about me. They could find me somewhere safe to stay and look after me if I wanted that, Abby says. You can stay with us, I say. Can't you, Mum? Mum nods. I really want to stay at home, Abby says. I want my mum and dad to accept I have the right to decide what I want to do, and I don't want to get married. With the pressure of the law, perhaps my dad won't force me now, knowing they're being watched. Jacqueline also interviewed me about Serena and my sister Anna, and she thinks they can help, but it might take some time. As soon as we arrive home, we all go to the kitchen to talk further. Dad is waiting for us, eager to find out how it went, and also to fill us in on what he's been up to and more. Sophia is safely at the next door auntie, so we can talk freely. He tells us that behind the scenes, a chain reaction has started. The professional agencies are now in place and aware of Abby and Serena's plight, and are also putting into place measures to bring Serena back into the UK. She says that by our actions and bravery, we were an important part of the rescue of Serena and maybe Anna and other victims of forced marriages. Abby and I smile at each other. Of course, Dad has already spoken to Abby's dad and warned him that he was being watched by the authorities and that he was duty-bound to inform the police if anything happened to Abby or she went missing. He tells us that Abby also has Dr. Begum on side, who has made it clear to Abby's dad that she had to report that Abby was at risk of being taken abroad against her wishes. She had also contacted the Foreign Office for advice and reported Abby's abduction, and we were glad to hear that our school has been busy too. They too informed Child Protection and the other agencies. I take all of this in and I'm glad to hear it. I have to do more though, and as soon as Abby goes home, I will begin. Dad moves to the computer into our bedroom, giving me more time without Sophia so I can crack on with hatching my plan. A lot is riding on my plan. I need to find a solution, not only to get Serena back, but also to give Abby back a guarantee of her freedom. Without that, Abby will always feel she is trapped, scared of what is around the corner. Sophia burst in. "What's you up to? You're always having private time these days," Sophia complains. "Please don't stop." "What's wrong?" Sophia, sounding grown up, stares at my computer screen. "It's Abby, isn't it?" Sophia says. "Yes, and I have to say I feel a bit relieved. Maybe my little sister will understand. Her dad will send her back over there again if he can get her married too. And then there's Serena. She's still trapped up there. Their mum and dad are very different to us, aren't they?" Sophia sighs. "Very different. We're pretty lucky, although we don't always know it. Well, I expect they nag us all the time about doing our homework because they want us to have a good education, so we will have choices for our future," Sophia says seriously. "Yes, and if we study and want to go to university, we can. Or," Sophia interrupts, giggling, "to marry a billionaire footballer and never work again. That's okay too." Sophia smiles, hoping I will approve of her amusing answer. Imagine Dad's reaction. "Hey sis, I think you finally got it," I smile, giving her a hug. "Well, I think marrying a billionaire is far easier than doing homework any day of the week," Sophia beams. I point to the door, pretending to be stern. "Now go, I need to think." "Okay sis, bye." She skips out. My mind is racing through other injustices I've heard of, and then it hits me. Of course, the media. It's worth a shot. I rush into the living room to tell Dad my plan, and he agrees it is a good one, and it might just work. I tear out of the bedroom, dash to Abby's and hammer on the door, hoping to make it before she leaves to visit her mum. She laughs when she opens the door. It's a repeat of this morning, only with me on the doorstep this time. "Abby," I yelp, pulling her outside and closing the front door. "I've just had a light bulb moment. I think there is a way. Look, Abby, you leave it with me. You focus on your mum and her recovery, and of course you have the kids to deal with. We will get Serena back and we'll make sure you're safe too. I promise." Abby grabs me and gives me a big kiss. "You're the best friend a girl could ever have." "I mean it, Vin. I've got to sort the kids' tea out. I'll speak to you later." Abby goes back inside. I rush home and begin to type.